So, quick question for you. How are you doing on those dreams of yours? How are you doing on your big, hairy ass dream? I wasn't doing so good. I took some time away. Can you tell? Oh, my goodness. And I think my wake up call was that LinkedIn had blocked me. In fact, they're not giving me my account back. It's not even like you have 2 weeks away or 3 weeks away. No, they just simply cut me off, and there's been no communication. I've tried to get in, they're not giving me access. Why? Because I was really focusing on the dark and dirty of the world, and I was telling what I knew about that dark and dirty, which I know a lot. But I also, you know, okay. So here's the story. Another ET story. I had a, I don't like saying depression, um, because I think your thoughts are really powerful, right? But I will say this, I have had a lot of challenges, like all of us. We've all had challenges, haven't we, in this last 2 years, especially? But I would say the last couple of months were pretty difficult. Marriage and everything that went with it. And so I actually felt for the first time since postpartum, after giving birth to my second child, well, actually after both, but especially the second, I had postpartum pretty bad. And a couple of weeks ago, I actually felt that same level of depression. And I thought, what the hell is this about? Okay, dear Lord, come on, we got to change this up. And I asked for help and didn't hear anything, didn't sense anything, didn't feel anything. No one came, damn it all. And so I was sitting there thinking, okay, I know someone is going to come and give me some guidance. Please. I asked for the spirit guide, the angel, whoever it is that is here for my best and highest good. Please come and give me a message and put me back on track. And so this is a couple of weeks ago. I went outside. It was just the sun was setting, and beside my house, it's got a field of bamboo, but it looks like a cornfield. If you've ever seen bamboo, it looks like cornfields. And as I looked through over the fence and through the cornfield or bamboo field, I could see 5 faces with one right in the very center. And I realized that they were ETs. And then I recognized them. They were bluish gray color. They were beautiful. And they looked like grays. They had the almond shaped face with the big eyes, but they were bluey gray. They were really beautiful. Anyways, I asked, I said hello, and boom, they took flight and off they went. And I was like, no, 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 please come back. I just would like to talk to you. So they did a loop and they came back, and they took the same positions. It was 4 behind, 1 in front. And I said to him, what would you like to tell me? Is there something that you would like to say to me? And there was silence for a second. And then the one that was in front, just straight faced, no emotion, said, you should read your book. I burst out laughing. I was like, oh my God, that is so profound, yet so simple. It was like, okay, I should read my friggin' book. In fact, it's underneath all kinds of stuff here. There, I didn't, not a plug for the book, but it is a plug for the book, because that was the message. I should read the book. And so I did. And as I was reading it, I was going, oh my gosh, this stuff is profound. So that's what I've been doing the last couple of weeks, is reading this book, taking it apart, learning from it again, relearning. And also I actually just did, I went back to the basics. I went back to Tony Robbins stuff, because I used to work with Tony. He used to be my business partner back in the early 1990s to late 1990s. And so I went back and did like the basic questions. What 2 things do you want to change right now? Right? What 2 things? Make a list, write them down. What is it that you want to change right at this very moment? And what has been stopping you from changing those two things? For me, it was getting in shape again, and number two was income, right? Since separating, all of a sudden it's a one single income, and then all of this stuff kind of went on the side burner, and it was like, oh, I got to actually earn money now, and not realizing that the love of my life, sharing this stuff with you, can be the income money earner eventually, right? If I do it properly. So, what are your two items? What is it that you want to change? And that was the question that I had to answer. So, then the question became, why haven't you changed? Why haven't you really gotten back in shape again? What is it that's holding you back? And I think a lot of women could relate to this, men too, right? Was that when I was at my fittest for 18 years, I was in top-notch shape. I was like a bodybuilder and just rock hard body. And towards the end of that, I had a relationship that was, I would say, verbally abusive, because if a man checked me out, he would blame me, that I was dressing too slutty, that I showed too much cleavage, that I wasn't, I was enticing people by looking so hot and looking so good, right? And it just brought the self-esteem down. Makes me choke up. And I've carried that shit for far too long. Long after the relationship's gone, I realized, wow, I was still carrying that here and now with me. And so it's time to let that go, isn't it? I've heard that from so many women, especially, that, they put on the weight to disguise themselves because either they had been raped or sexually harassed or whatever it may be, that they didn't want that kind of attention anymore. So they used the weight as a cocoon to stop, any advancements. And I guess that was my story to a certain degree as well. And so, I stress ate for a very long time and just kept the weight on. Now it's like, okay, I've played that game long enough, and where has it got me? And when I get to the end of my life, looking back, is that really serving me? And am I going to feel good about the decisions that I made here and now? Are you going to feel good about the decisions that you've made here and now when you get to the end of your time and look back? I love that exercise. I often do future pacing, where I go to the end of my time and I ask, okay, going the way that I'm going right now, how long am I going to be on this planet, right? And from there, a number comes up. Sometimes it's like 3 months out, 3 years out, or 30 years, or 100 years out, whatever it may be, right? And so that number comes up, and then you go and see yourself and talk to yourself and ask what regrets you have. This is an exercise that was downloaded, and I've used it on like 10,000 clients now, at least, over about 30 years. And basically, it's called trans-future pacing, is what I've coined it as and downloaded it as, was trans-future pacing. So basically, you go and see your current self, and going the way that you're going right now, what's your life going to be like? Will you feel that, going the way that you're going right now, in 5 years' time, do you think that you'll be having a fantastic life? Will it be a really great life that you'll be excited about, or will you be doing the same thing that you're doing right now? My dog's making a lot of noises. She's in heat right now. My dog is 16 years old and still in heat. That's what meditation does for you. She meditates with me daily, and with all my clients over the years, right? 16 years. And people think she's a puppy. She's still in heat, for God's sakes, for goodness sakes. Anyways, so let's go back to the exercise. Yeah, where are you going to be in 5 years' time, and are you going to be happy about it? I just finished working out. I went in the pool. I went for a swim, hence the wet hair still, and life is pretty darn good, you know. Um, and it's been better since I've changed my inner dialogue and since I've stepped into my ideal self's energy. So, you know, initially I was looking at, okay, where am I going to go, going the way that I'm going right now? And it kind of sucked. It wasn't my ideal self's image of what I wanted. So I step into my ideal self's energy. How does my ideal self feel? What do I look like? What do I, you know, what family do I have? Who's around me? And really build up that energy. Feel the energy of your ideal self getting stronger and stronger until you're like this beacon of light, like you're just shining bright. And then you step into that energy and feel that energy. I actually am going to do a course, and I'm going to do the whole meditation visualization for people. I actually wrote it as a book as well, and I haven't finished it, but I've got the book cover that has been ready for, I don't know, 8 years. So it's about time, don't you think? At any rate, I used this exercise today, and I decided to get on and do a recording for everyone right away because, you know, procrastination, delays, that's just putting off, you know, what is possible. And I put on the t-shirt today, my possibilities are endless. So if I'm going to have endless possibilities, I also have to take that action. And that's the same for you. So what are your endless possibilities? And what 2 things are you going to do today? What action steps are you going to take right this very moment in order to make those 2 things that you really want to change, that you really want to accomplish? And how are you going to make them come to fruition? What 2 steps are you going to take this very moment, this very day, in order to move towards your accomplishments, your goals, right? They're basic questions. That's the one thing I loved about Tony. You know, there were a lot of things that I didn't like, but there's a lot that I did. I mean, I had to respect him that he literally has helped to change millions of people's lives. But I loved how he got you asking a better question. You know, that I think was probably one of the most powerful tools that I ever learned from him was ask a better question, right? If you're thinking, oh God, how am I going to do this? Why is my life, you know, why is it sucking so much? I'm repeating this damn pattern again in another relationship. Like, how could I do it again? Right? Does that empower you? That kind of question? Usually, why questions will spiral you down. How questions, on the other hand, will lift you up and will give you the answer. So, how do I create a better life for myself and my children? How do I accomplish my goals? Your brain will go, I'll tell you how. These are the steps that you need to take, right? And so this is part of the Freedom Masters course that I taught for, I don't know, on and off for about 30 years. We actually coined it, or I actually coined it Freedom Masters in 2010, I think it was. So 12 years ago now already. And it was a download. Freedom Masters was a download. And you know, the actual course itself was birthed in 2010. Or was it 13? I don't know. Timelines in me, they suck. You know, ever since my near-death experiences and coming back from the other side, I have no concept of time. I can't tell you if it's Wednesday or Thursday, or it is Wednesday. Huh, who knew? But, you know, time and me, we just kind of flow. And so yeah, it was 2013 that I started Freedom Masters. It was a download. I literally was journaling, and they signed off at the end saying Freedom Masters. I was like, Freedom Masters, ooh, what's that about? And they said, that's your next endeavor, your next project. And it proved to be quite a project. It helped literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people in such profound ways. I've never seen a course so effective, not even Tony Robbins stuff. I mean, his stuff is pretty amazing, but the difference was this was a spiritually based class as well. And it really helped people, blossom into a whole new, it wasn't just a suntan effect, in the seminar business, we used to call it a suntan effect. That you would, or sunburn effect, right? You would go into a seminar and you'd be rah, 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 and it would be like getting a sunburn because it would fade off after a couple of days. My course, Freedom Masters, was more like a suntan, and it would last and last and last and last. And the more you would dip into the sun or come back to the alumni and stay with the community, the longer that suntan would stay with you. And so I will go back to teaching all of that. I apologize to everyone that I've stayed away so long. I just needed some me time and to get through some of my own shit and realize I should have read my book. I love that. My God, I was laughing out loud. Not that I'm talking to an ET, that wasn't weird, right? What was weird was that the ET was telling me to read my own book. I thought that was brilliant. Anyways, I put up a partition behind me because in my art studio, I've torn it apart and I have stuff everywhere. And that's part of what I've been going through, is a rebirthing and taking everything down, like out of every cupboard and starting over. And so it is mayhem behind me. But when I put this partition up, I went, my God, look at this. Look at, how do I do this? There. Down. God. Okay, there. Number 17. When you think of what was going on with all the politics and 2020 and everything, 17 was a very strong indication of the white hats. And so I thought that was really beautiful. I've had this partition all these years, didn't even know. And it reminded me of my wedding because it was, bottles like this on the table with flowers in it, and the baby's breath over here. And it just speaks to me of elegance and love. And so, yeah, that's what we're growing in our lives. The other aspect is gratitude. So I'll do another video on that, in inviting gratitude in on a whole new level, because I think when you really visualize and drink up, gratitude, that changes your life as well. So how are you doing on your big hairy ass dream? Have you been going for it? Have you been delaying it like I was? And will you have regrets at the end of your time here on this big, beautiful green blue ball, or flat earth, or whatever it is, illusion that it is, right? Are you going to have any regrets that you didn't really go for it? And if you feel that you are, ask yourself now, will I have regrets when I come to the end of my time here on earth? If it's a yes, then you got to change quickly, because now is the time. If you're feeling, no, I'm not going to have any regrets, I'm on track. I would say there's fewer of those people right now, but we're moving into the majority, because more and more people are really going for it and are not delaying life any longer. I think the blessing of 2020 was that it woke us all the fuck up. It didn't it though? I mean, to appreciate freedom and freedom of speech and fitness and interactions and hugging one another. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, it was our wake-up call. So I'm really glad to be with everyone again, and let's make this a weekly affair, shall we? Okay, I love everyone. Love you very much. Oh, and by the way, I have received your letters. In fact, I was just looking at one. Where is it now? It starts off with, just looked for you and watched your last 2 YouTube videos. I miss seeing you on YouTube. I learned so much from you. After one of your videos, I asked for my own dragons. By the way, she went on to say that she hasn't had her dragon around for a long time. I think they've left. I haven't seen my dragons here for a very long time. They came in, they did what they needed to do, and my feeling is that they've gone on to another dimension, another universe, another place. I'm not too sure, but I haven't seen my dragons here for a very long time either. So it's spirit guides, it's angels, and it's you and me. And I think the emphasis is on the latter. It's you and me, girl, guy, us, and it's up to us to make the difference on this planet by changing us, by changing me and changing you, in ourselves, right? We need to focus on what's good about this and how can I change myself to improve myself spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, every which way, right? What do I need to do? What kind of life do I envision myself living, that at the end of my life, when I look back, I'll be like, yeah, possibilities, man. I've been working out. I'm actually starting to get a little bit of definition. Oh, you can't see it. There is a line there. There really is, honestly. Yeah, you can't see it in this lighting, damn it. But I can see it. There's actually a definition there, like there's a line starting. So how exciting. Yeah, I'm coming back, baby. And I hope you are too. Much love to you. And we'll talk to everyone soon. Okay, bye.